California's going to have to take another L with this story. This is dad and dad's girlfriend. Just, I don't understand why we continue to keep putting our children in danger and around people that are not the biological parents. And it just really sucks that we have so many situations where mom and dad cannot work things out. Absolutely ridiculous. But in this story, let me give you the disclaimer before I say something that's going to give me flag. Some of you might find my content controversial or offensive. The information is coming from a credible source called lawandcrime.com. So thank you so much for the article. They do a great job. You guys probably should subscribe to their channel also. They got some really, really good court cases that they present on there. Excellent, excellent channel. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of the story. The point is to use this as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing these tragedies to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. Sucks that I have to do that every single time, but it is what it is. A 24-year-old father, again, I keep saying that I think that men shouldn't be fathers under the age of 30. But again, we have a 24-year-old father and his 22-year-old girlfriend. Hashtag dad's girlfriend. Both of them are behind bars for allegedly torturing and killing the man's 4-year-old daughter. First of all, I am highly offended that you finally have a situation where a father has custody of his daughter and he fails his daughter. I think that fathers and daughters can be the most beautiful thing ever. And I'm just highly offended at the fact that this really sets fathers back for those of us who are working hard to make a good representation for ourselves, knowing that society demonizes fathers to begin with. But then you have a situation like this, which knocks us years backwards. Isaiah Rump and Charities Steferi were both taken into custody on Wednesday and charged with 1 count each of murder, torture, and assault on a child resulting in great bodily harm or death, jail records reviewed by lawandcrime.com. According to a press release from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office, deputies from the Apple Valley Station approximately at 9:35 p.m. on October 25th responded to a 911 call regarding an unresponsive child at a residence located in the 22,000 block of Highway 18. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders discovered the injured little girl and transported her to a local hospital. I would love to know where the biological mother was here. Was this man just, like he had, was he just babysitting his daughter? Did he just have her for a short amount of time? Did they have split custody? Did he have sole custody of this little girl? I would love to know what that situation is and where is the biological mother at. Upon arriving, first responders discovered the injured little girl. Despite the medical staff attempting life-saving measures on the victim, she was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the facility. Due to the child's condition, investigators said detectives with the Sheriff's Specialized Investigations Homicide Unit responded to the scene and took over the case. An investigator from the coroner's office also responded to the hospital and examined the child's body, authorities said. The investigator determined that the child had sustained numerous injuries indicative of child abuse, according to the sheriff's office. Our homicide detectives interviewed the child's father and girlfriend, and they were both subsequently arrested for causing the child's death. Gloria Huerta, a spokesperson with the sheriff's office, reportedly told LA ABC affiliate KABC TV. Oh, that's a lot to say. Rump and Steferi, dad and girlfriend, were arrested and booked at the Central Detention Center in San Bernardino and subsequently transferred to the West Valley Detention Center. Both suspects were initially charged with assault on a child resulting in the death and held on a $500,000 bond. After authorities filed additional charges of murder and torture, the bond was increased to $1 million apiece. Though authorities have not released any details in the case or the victim's ultimate cause of death, Neighbor Michelle Turner reportedly told the news that when she saw the little girl and her family, they often seemed to be enjoying themselves, putting on a pretty face, what it sounds like. She seemed happy. I've seen her in the summertime at the pool, and she was playing and having a good time. Turner reportedly told the station. It seemed like the whole family was. Hannah Lucas, who is the little girl's biological mother, identified her daughter as Jasmine in a GoFundMe campaign. Let me get that up on the screen for you. Gotta love these GoFundMes. Where is it at? Let me see. Did I get the GoFundMe? Yes, I did. I sure did. I'm pretty good at this. So biological mom, Hannah Lucas, as you can see at the bottom, was asking for $6,000 and they helped her raise almost all of it, $5,180. I'm pretty sure she's going to reach that goal. It's a beautiful picture of the little girl. It's just sad. But you can actually look that information up on GoFundMe if you want to read the rest of that message on there. So I'm going to skip it. She said she was 4 years old, turning 5 in December. Investigators emphasize that an investigation into Jasmine's death is ongoing, and anybody who has any information relevant to this case to call the homicide unit at 909-890-4908 or go to WETIP.com to remain anonymous. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I'm going to show the One News video. The One News video. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And please remember, you guys can always help us share these stories by clicking the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think, okay? And if you guys can't type, you have to subscribe to the channel. I think after a few minutes, it'll let you type in there. So subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Let's get it. Somebody in the chat said exactly what I was thinking. How can you look at this baby? Let me go back. How can you look at this baby's face and want to hurt her? I don't get that. My friend in the chat said, your channel helps change more than you think. I changed the way I parent and have a much better relationship with my kids because of you. And of course, that is my friend. They call me B. Let me give you that right there. And shout out to you and your channel. And thank you for posting that message. That really means a lot to me. And thank you. We also had another channel member rejoin. And thank you again for that. I'm just thankful if this matters to somebody. And all I want to do is just encourage people to do better by the kids and make their children a priority. I don't know why people would resort to doing something like this, but here we go.
Thank you. And another heartbreaking story. An Apple Valley father and his girlfriend have been arrested in connection with the death of his 4-year-old daughter. The child reportedly had injuries consistent with child abuse. Our Inland Empire Bureau Chief Bob McMillan has more on this tragic story.
As word spreads about what detectives think happened inside this double wide earlier this week, neighbors at this mobile home park can only express shock.
That was so weird how they said what happened at this double wide. I don't know. It's like they probably were thinking what I was thinking. Like, oh God, it's a trailer park. But look, normal people do live in trailer parks. It's home. It is what it is. I just thought it was funny how the news said it's a double wide. It just sounds weird. I don't know.
As word spreads about what detectives think happened inside this double wide, what detectives think happened inside this double wide, earlier this week, neighbors at this mobile home park can only express shock. A 4-year-old girl is now dead.
Somebody in the chat said they didn't have to say that. I don't know. Like, did they have to say it? I don't know. But then again, there are situations. It just sounded funny. We got to laugh sometime. Come on, guys. These stories are really, really sad. We got to laugh sometimes, okay? It's just a comical moment. But there have been plenty of times when people will say this affluent neighborhood or this middle class neighborhood. So maybe that's just that way to describe. In this double wide.
As word spreads about what detectives think happened inside this double wide earlier this week, neighbors at this mobile home park can only express shock. A 4-year-old girl is now dead. Her father and his girlfriend are under arrest.
Who wants to hear about a 4-year-old dying? I mean, she hasn't even lived her life yet.
Neighbor Michelle Turner has lived at the Apple Valley Mobile Home Lodge for 8 years. She says 24-year-old Isaiah Rumpf and his girlfriend Charity Staffieri lived inside this unit with his 4-year-old daughter Jasmine.
She seemed happy. I would see her in the summertime at the pool, and she was playing and having a good time. It seemed like the whole family was.
Detectives aren't saying how she died, but on Tuesday night around 9:30, the suspects called 911 to report that the little girl wasn't breathing.
The child was transported to a hospital where she was pronounced deceased.
San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department spokesperson Gloria Huerta says that's when the homicide team was called in.
One of our investigators from the coroner's office responded to the hospital and determined the child had multiple injuries consistent with child abuse. Our homicide detectives interviewed the child's father and the girlfriend, and they were both subsequently arrested for causing the child's death.
Both the father and his girlfriend are not only charged with assault on a child causing death, but murder and torture as well. Both remain behind bars, bail set at $1 million each.
And that's the only news video I could find. And again, where was the biological mother? I would love to know what the dynamic of that situation was. If he was just visiting, did they have split custody? Did he have sole custody? I surely would like to know, and hear maybe from the biological mother as opposed to her putting out a GoFundMe. I'd love to know what this situation was. Okay. But why would you abuse this baby? And it sounds like you maybe didn't even have to have custody or have her in your possession at all if you clearly hated your daughter to this point where you abused her to death. And I would never respect that. And that's why I use the hashtag babies for benefits. And if he was the sole custody caretaker of this child, then he probably only kept this child for the benefits that he could collect off of that baby's back. And that's what we call babies for benefits, because that's the type of thing that we want to try to correct and speak against and shame people and get the law to handle these people to the fullest extent. Life in prison, maybe even the death penalty, just depending on what the circumstances of this baby's death really was. But now they're going to be spending their lives in a double wide cell for the next half a century, I guess. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to the AFC podcast, okay? Thank you.